Um, how's your relationship with technology in this episode? I mean, has it been freeing, or there are things that you have to do in order to comply with the objective of interactivity?
It's been a challenging episode. This little film. From the start, it's been tricky because I think I said this. I had to learn a programming language just to write the treatment, the story outline for this. So from the very beginning, there were signs that this was going to be more technologically challenging than previous ones we've done. And there's a lot of things you have to kind of rethink if you're doing a story like this, because all normal sort of storytelling conventions go out the window. And there's various technical limitations along the way that you have to adapt to that inform how you're doing it. It's been fascinating though.
I think from initially you sort of thought branching narratives, lots of opportunity for lots of narrative, different story routes, different worlds, or different scenes you could go into. And then I think we quickly realised that if you try and do that, you sort of end up with lots of sort of disparate endpoints that don't feel as if they belong in the same universe. So whilst the interactive story platform gives you greater potential for narrative, I think one of the skills is trying to restrict it to try and keep hold of your character and to keep the world cohesive.
Don't you guys feel like running to keep ahead of technology? Because it moves so fast that the first time you saw Nosedive, you were like, ha, such imagination. But now China is doing something like that, but with the metalhead dog. So don't you feel like...
And China's doing the metalhead dog.
Oh my God, I hope not. Don't you feel it's kind of getting closer?
The score is too low. I quite often feel like, the tricky thing is that sometimes the stories are always informed by what's going on now anyway. So quite often we're just reacting to things that are kind of in the ether anyway. And the stories are always about, I suppose we tend to focus on the human beings in the middle of the stories rather than the technology that's driving the narrative, that's informing the narrative, I guess. It's difficult because the world is going more and more Black Mirror, it seems. I'm not the only one saying that. Lots of people seem to be pointing that out. So
the world is making it hard for us.
Or it's also giving us free publicity.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
you win some, you lose some.
We live in a dystopia, but on the other side, hooray! So I think there's more opportunities actually as technology generally in the world is getting more sophisticated and people are becoming more accustomed to it. I think they're probably more willing to accept certain things that they wouldn't have been a few years ago. So Nosedive as a story wouldn't even have made sense really. Probably 15 years before that, it might have been a bit too high concept to really land. Whereas people watched Nosedive and related it to their everyday lives, which was where hopefully it got its power from.
I don't know if you saw this Lexus commercial that was supposedly written by artificial intelligence, but would you consider using AI to help inform or even contribute to the writing process of one episode?
Yes.
God,
if it makes life easier.
Such decisiveness.
What are you saying?
If they could come up with a perfect Black Mirror episode,
yeah, but then who's going to watch it? Another AI?
I'll watch it. That's the way it should be. They make it, I watch it.
No, but...
That's what robots are for.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are, to make my life easier.
They're here, yes, I suppose, but they're also here to oppress and murder us, aren't they? Probably, ultimately.
That's the next generation's problem.
I don't know that, because surely at the point at which, if we've got AIs that are sophisticated enough to come up with stories, by that point they're probably rounding us up and killing us all or using us as batteries like in the Matrix, aren't they? So we've probably got bigger fish to fry at that point than to worry about how it impacts on us as program makers. We're probably at that point living in an irradiated wasteland, being hunted for food.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.